let's do this. It's the Byte Me Podcast, episode 78.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's almost three digits.
Almost.
It's on the downhill slide to 3 digits.
It's almost 2 years.
Oof.
Well, that's a lot.
It's not really. 2 years is in November. November does not seem that far away from now, though.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Not.
Yeah.
A hop, skip, and jump away, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 34 more episodes. 36.
22.
No, because it's 52 weeks in a year. Come on now, math.
All right.
Math with me.
So it's 26.
You guys get mad when I do the math cast.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I really just totally... This is why I don't do the math, because I really royally just screwed that up.
You just totally sold yourself out.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
fine.
I'm bad
You can
at
edit that
math.
later.
I'm not going to.
That will be 26.
I don't know if anybody who's listening to our podcast knows this. If you can't tell, I don't edit a lot out of our show.
No.
I'm like, man, that was good enough. We'll go with it.
Every once in a while, I'll listen to other or I'll more hear them talking. And they'll say, oh, yeah, we spend 17 hours doing our podcast every week. I'm like, wow, I'm sure glad we don't do more interviews.
Yeah, right? Although interviews are fun.
Oh, yeah, no, super fun. I just don't want to edit them.
Hell no.
Yeah, prepare your questions.
Yeah.
Don't ask bad questions that they're going to be bad answers that you have to edit out.
I think it's often where they...
Keep it down. Just keep it slim.
I think it's when they record separately and have to put them back together, and so they spend a lot of time leveling out the silences and that kind of stuff.
Get a studio, people. Mm-hmm. Be a professional. Anyway, I'm Adam West.
Cliff Johnson.
The Dylan.
All right.
Oh!
Okay. This week we'll be talking about some news. That's all you get. And so private crews and 3-player crews are now possible in Sea of Thieves. We will talk about that. Rage 2. I didn't know there was a Rage 1, first of all.
Yeah.
And then I saw the gameplay trailer for Rage 2, and it looks fun.
Doesn't it?
It's almost like what I take away from that is Borderlands meets Far Cry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, too.
Okay. The NES Classic is back in June. Boss Key Productions, this just happened today.
No.
I thought...
Yesterday.
Oh, this happened yesterday? Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought I read about it this morning.
Yeah.
They're shutting down. Rocket League is jumping on the Battle Pass bandwagon. Cool.
Good talk.
Cool.
Destiny 2 is bringing some IRL treasure hunting into the fray, kind of.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's kind of a fun thing. And start figuring out who's going to be in your Nintendo family right now.
Right now.
Hint, hint.
Is it like a draft?
Will you be in my Nintendo family, Adam?
Yes.
Yes, sweet.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Good.
Questions from Vinny, Shadow X, also some cheap free games in the Humble Bundle. They got some fun stuff. And, and then first we start with what we're playing. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
I dare you.
So I don't know, this last week was kind of weird. I didn't sleep much because of Teacher Appreciation Week, because that's how my life works.
You appreciate teachers just so much you refuse to sleep.
And for some reason that involves me not sleeping. So I didn't play a ton last week, and then kind of this week and the weekend kind of rolled around, and I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to play. And when I can't figure out what I want to play, or I'm not in the mood to play anything, I usually just kind of default to Rocket League. Mm-hmm. So I played a bunch of Rocket League this week, and the game just never disappoints. It's always a good time.
Are you excited for the Battle Pass?
We'll see. Maybe, probably not.
He's not.
I don't know if I want to play it that much, but it was fun. I was smurfing on the Byte Me account, actually. So,
what does that mean?
It means that I was playing on a rookie, because on my account I'm probably a master level, with in level 50-ish.
Okay.
The Byte Me account is a rookie or maybe a semi-pro, so level 10 or 12. So I get matched against worse opponents. But I also haven't played in 6 months in a sort of real way. So I'm not as good as my master label would say I am, but I'm probably not as bad as the rookie label.
Level 60 warlock, but he's playing as a level 3 apprentice mage.
Yeah, what I really need to do is be able to. What I really wish those do is I wish they had level decay. So after you hadn't played for so long, it would.
Oh, wouldn't that be the greatest?
Yeah, pull your level back down to level 30 and
Are there
tell
any
you
games out there that do that?
No, I don't think so. And
that's why I haven't played Clash Royale in a long time, because I got so high and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it here.
Yeah, but it would be really nice if you did get that kind of decay where hey, we notice you haven't played this game in 6 months. Do you want us to lower your level so you can maybe practice up a little bit? Because I'm better than that account, but I'm not nearly as good as my main account. So But I did that. I also played some Battlefield 1, the World War One game that came out, 6 months ago.
Is it on EA Access?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah.
So I played that. I probably started that maybe 4 months ago, and I played through the first campaign where you're like a dude driving like this big, slow, lame behemoth tank. And I played it right after I had played Titanfall 2, which when you're in an awesome, giant, super fast mechanical mech tank, and it just felt crappy. And so I never went back to it. But my brother's playing the Fractured Butt Hole. And so he was playing that single player, and I needed a game to play. So we were just essentially in the same party talking to each other while we each played single player games.
Nice.
And so I'm like looking through my stuff, and I didn't want to play Wolfenstein because my kid was in the room, and that's not a game you should play when your kid's in the room.
That's fair.
And so I'm like, Battlefront. So I loaded up the second campaign in that. I think there's 6 total. And you're in an airplane, and so I get to fly around in an airplane and shoot down blimps and Nazis. And
Was the flying easier to handle in that than it was Far Cry?
275%, roughly.
Okay, good.
Give or take. Yeah, the flying in Far Cry is hot garbage. And the flying in this is good. Like, it feels arcadey, but good. It was fun.
That's
You got
better
to
than
lukewarm.
the alternative. Because has anyone ever played a game where you're like, hey, the flying was really good
Afterburner.
and fun?
Yeah, I mean, I
In
think
1989
Other
in
than
the
maybe
arcade.
a flight simulator.
And I think that's the thing
the
is
layperson would be like, this is terrible.
yeah, and to me, I think it's either like super realistic and good, or super arcadey and fun, and like
so you just fly around.
Yeah.
And you're
Far
not
Cry
worried
was
about,
neither
like,
of
Far Cry was neither of
Yeah.
those. It was just bad. And I think to me too, like Far Cry being a first-person vehicle game is garbagey. This was nice third-person. And like GTA 5's airplanes were bad.
Don't tell me. Oh, did you see, by the way, that Far Cry, the Grand Theft Auto 5 was on sale? It was just on sale for $29.99.
Right? Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Yeah,
So-
I bought it for $25 on sale. Yeah, it's dumb.
Save that money.
But yeah, no, Battlefront was fun. I got to strafe some blimps, and it was a good time. It was enjoyable enough that I'll probably go back and play some of the other ones, just not the tank one. So
Gotcha.
it's free. Pick it up. I mean, it's free if you have EA access. If not,
Which I do.
I'm sure it's cheap now. So
Dylan, what are you playing?
Magic.
Not much of anything. It's been a terrible week full of a lot of things. Like, luckily there's been
You're not
nice...
letting work get in the way of your video games,
No,
are
like
you?
family stuff.
Gotcha.
Ew.
Sorry.
And then the weather did get nice, so I did go outside and do outsidey things. So, and got sunburns, my first sunburns of the year. So that's kind of...
I never quite
It's called a
understand
base
what...
tan.
I've never understood really people in Seattle. They're like, oh, it got nice outside. I'm like, you mean my house got hot? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're not wrong. Okay, well, I've been playing a few things.
Yay!
I am still playing Celeste. I think I'm in the last... I'm really close to finishing that.
Very nice.
And it's real good. So that's a lot of fun. If you like the Super Meat Boy-ish kind of...
I'm going to buy that game.
Do
It's on my
Totally
list.
worth
It's
it.
just not quite yet.
I'm also in the next to last area of God of War.
You've really plowed through that game.
I mean, if you call plowing through a game in 3 weeks, plowing through it
Well, I mean,
for a
it's
month.
How many hours do you think? Because I mean,
About 3 weeks.
yeah, time to beat on that game is like 30 hours, but I'm assuming that's with some side quests. Do you think
I'm between 25 and 35 hours right now.
It's a lot of time to put into a game in 3 weeks.
It's good. It's not good. It's great. It's fantastic. I love it.
You love it.
Oh my God, it's so good. And I can't wait to finish it because evidently when you start into this next area that I'm going into, once you get past a certain point in it, Mimir is like, okay, so once you start this thing here, you're not going to be able to stop until you finish.
Interesting.
So it's like, if there's any other crap you want to do, you need to probably go do that before we go in here because this is it.
Interesting. Very cool.
So I'll just make a save point, prior to getting in there.
You know,
So I can
that's
always
one thing
go
I'm
back.
a little bit disappointed in that game. Not disappointed. It's not the end of the world, but I was very surprised that there are only like 6 save slots in that game.
Only?
Yeah.
Do you need more than that?
When I'm playing a big game like that, I usually, like when I played Skyrim, probably by the time I was done with Skyrim, I probably had 100 saves.
Holy crap.
Because I just do a new one every single time because you just never know when you might want to go back.
When you fall through the floor and can never restart the game.
Well, yeah.
I don't do that.
I was just surprised. I was very surprised.
I mean, there's the autosave there's the autosave, but then I've always got two other ones kind of going back and forth that I'll go back and forth between.
Usually, in this one, I'm just overwriting them. Like, I overwrite my last one with my newest one. But
Gotcha.
I was it's not a huge deal, but I was very surprised that in a system that you have, gigabytes at least of free space, that they would say, oh, sorry, only 6.
I just had no idea that the people made that many of their own. Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Oh, there's a thing. So I'm playing that, almost done. Really, really like it. If you haven't played it, I just saw somewhere. I'll find it again. It was on sale for $47.99.
I've been seeing it a couple places like that. And Far Cry 5, too.
Yeah, and it's the fastest selling PlayStation 4, PlayStation exclusive in Sony's history. Cool. 3.1 million copies, I think.
Nice.
In its first week. So it sold a lot. It's done really, really well. And it's like, from what I've read, it's part of a 5-game. They've got like a 5-game roadmap in place for this new series. So...
Yeah, I've come around on the game. I don't think it's as good as everybody else thinks it is, but I'm enjoying it.
Right. I'm also playing. I saw this pop up on the Switch. The Switch announcements of like, here's the 15,000 games we're putting up this week, and it was called Immortal Redneck.
I love
it. The title intrigued me. I looked it up. It looks like it came out last year or maybe late 2016 on Steam. First-person shooter. It is not for kids based on just the language because it's a redneck, and he's a very foul-mouthed redneck, and he just wants to go on vacation, and somehow he gets sucked into some weird Egyptian crap. And
I need to try that on your Switch.
Yeah, so
awesome.
I loaded it up on the Switch eShop. It was $20. I had like 500 Nintendo points, so I got it for an extra $5 off.
Nice.
And it's fun. It's a first-person shooter on the Switch.
That's way cool.
It's just ridiculous. The character models are kind of cute, though. The enemies. And there's 3 pyramids, and you've got to work your way up to the top of it and have a big boss battle and blah, blah, blah.
And what's it called one more time?
Immortal Redneck.
Immortal Redneck. I love it. And that's actually one thing that I kind of forgot to say is I actually played Rocket League on the Switch this week. I'd barely done it before. I bought it right when it came out, and I played like a game, but I played probably an hour of it on the Switch this week.
Nice.
It's very, very, very workable on the Switch, like surprisingly workable.
I figured it'd be really great to play it on the Switch.
Maybe more appropriately, it's very good on the Switch. I think it works because you only really need to use one directional paddly thing. What are those called?
Analog stick?
Thumbstick. Thank you. Whew. You only need one of them. You don't ever use the right one. It's all just left one and then trigger mostly. So yeah, it works really well. I was very pleased. Cool. Sitting in bed playing some Rocket League.
Good. I want to say there was something else that I played, but I can't remember. I don't think so.
That's good.
It's
okay. You can just play 3. It's fine.
What did I buy? I bought something else, though, because I was like, I have to buy that, too, because that makes sense. Oh, well, I'm sure I'll think of it later. But, yeah, so that's what we've been playing. Okay.
I'm very pleased.
Yeah. If you all are playing games and you feel like we should be checking out something that we're not, let us know. Drop us a note in our Discord. Or send us an email or a Facebook message. And also, if you're listening, or a letter, a letter. Spend how much is a stamp?
53 cents, 54 cents.
I was going to say 27 cents, but or 32. But okay, that's how long it's been since I sent something in the mail.
Since high school,
evidently. If you're listening on iTunes, like us, rate us, review us, or wherever you might be listening, leave us a little review. Because I'm kind of sad we've only got one gnarly, nasty, trolly review. I'd like more, please.
I'm not really all that disappointed about that, honestly.
Yeah, it was enough to affect our score from a 5 to like a 4.5, though.
Well, but I mean, if you want, give us a 5-star. That's the one thing that I've noticed, like on some Amazon reviews and stuff, like people give it a 5-star, but directly underneath it'll be like, this is the worst thing I've ever bought. I can't believe I spent good money on this. And I'm like, why did you give it 5 stars?
I think the exact opposite of that in movie reviews, where you'll read a movie review, they gave it 2 out of 4 stars, and then just talk about how good the movie is. I'm like, well, what's the breakdown here then? Like, you're like, it's great, it's fun, I really enjoyed myself. You're like, 2 stars, huh?
Well, I mean, it's like, why did that game get a 6.5 or a 7?
Yeah.
That's a solid score.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I guess like an average watchable movie is a 2.
Yeah.
And then if it's a great movie, it's a 3, and then if it's a masterpiece, it's a 4.
Maybe that's why
it's really like.
I think I like the 10-point scale better. Gives you a little bit of degree.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Black Panther, 4 stars.
Ooh, it's a good film. I saw Infinity War this weekend too, and I really liked it as well.
I just like talking about MCU or superhero movies in front of Dylan because I like watching his face just go contort.
It's all good. Dylan's dumb. Forget it.
No, he's not dumb. He has very strong opinions.
Dumb opinions.
That's not dumb.
Opinions.
I mean, I'm sorry, Dylan.
Deadpool 2's coming out this week.
I know. I just got invited to go see it Friday night, but I'm going to Portland. Yeah. That's fine. It's Deadpool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Anyway, moving on. We have a whole lot of it to talk about, so let's get into it.
News!
Excuse me. That was such a great news, you made me cough. All right, let's start off with Sea of Thieves, that game that I tried playing for a minute, but then I stopped quickly after I realized there was nothing to do.
I read an article today that has nothing to do with actually what we're going to discuss, but I thought it was really good. I actually put it in our Discord that was talking about how that the player base of Sea of Thieves has dropped off quite a bit.
No wonder.
But
really?
the player base that's left is really fun now.
Right.
That instead of just like immediately seeing another ship and attacking, a lot of people are like getting it's formed more of a community where pirates will actually gather together and attack the sea forts, and that it's become way more of a like pirate community than it is just like random pirate shenanigans, and that it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I might have to at some point in time I need to hop back into Sea of Thieves.
Like, I want to play it more. I just want there to be more variety in what's going on.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come. I'm taking the same approach to that as I'm Destiny, which I also played a little bit of. Not a ton, but a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fun. But the one thing I know that people were talking about when Sea of Thieves came out, or one thing you in particular were talking about, was like, it would be really nice just to have, like, to be able to have a crew of 3.
Yeah. And this is cool, too, because it's not just crews of 3, but it's private crews. So you can start out with a crew of 1 and then add other people in as they come online. So you can have, just don't auto put anyone else on my thing, and then my friends can join me.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and so, but it does allow you to have a crew of 3. Although I've read a couple articles that imply that maybe 3-man crews were available before this, but I hadn't read that anywhere else until like today. Yeah. So that may have been a thing that I just missed, but this definitely makes 3-man crews available, which I think is great. That's something that I'm very excited about. So, but then there's obviously a ton of other content coming out that later this month, I think.
Right.
So should be good. Also now, enemy gamer tags are invisible underwater, so you can sneak up on ships, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
because so like if you were in the water sneaking up on a ship, they could see your gamer tag floating in the water.
Floating in the water.
Oh, that's just silly.
Yeah, and so
I thought I was being all sneaky that one time.
Yeah, it was still possible to sneak on, but it'll be easier now, which I think will be fun to be able to do the underwater attacks, like actually sneak up on a ship that's moored out in the bay or whatever. So,
that's fun.
Yeah, it's good.
And it looks like the new content coming up is called The Hungering Deep.
Yeah.
That's coming up later on,
this summer. Introduce a new critter like the Kraken.
A new threat to Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, should be good.
Super fun. All right, up next, Rage 2. Didn't know there was a Rage 1.
So I knew there was, but it was kind of one of those games. It's old. Like, I mean, first of all, the crazy thing about Rage is it came out in, I think...
I played it in college.
Yeah, 2011. It was not and it wasn't terrifically well received. It was kind of one of those like, hey, this game's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was lackluster. That's the word I would use. Like, it was a beautiful game. It played well, but it left a lot to be desired by the time you finished it.
A buddy of mine, Tim, just barely finished it, and I'm like, oh, should I play it? He's like, nah. I'm like, okay. He's like, I picked it up real cheap, so I didn't mind playing through it, and I felt good about beating it and whatever, but he's like, I wouldn't like seek it out. So, which is why this is kind of tied to this, the Canadian Walmart leak that we talked about last week. One of the big things, people are like, why would Rage 2 be getting leaked? They're never gonna make a Rage 2.
Lo and behold.
Yeah. And
so this is like the first confirmed like Canadian Walmart leak.
Yeah. And so, and what I really wonder though is whether this game, I mean, I don't know. They had a lot of stuff. They obviously released a trailer this morning, and then another thing yesterday, and there was a lot of teasing. And so I'm curious if they just had all that stuff in the can, and we're just waiting for maybe E3 is only a month away,
right? So
maybe that was all going to be their E3 launch stuff, and they're just like, well, the cat's out of the bag. Let's do it now. But I'm very curious if the Walmart release or the Walmart leak actually led to this release. But it looks real fun. It looks really, really,
it does.
really
it's
fun.
Like I said, when I saw the trailer earlier, the first thing I thought it was Borderlands meets
Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, just
thank
like really
you.
a
Just
reverent
wackadoodle,
humor
just
with.
over
I
the
mean, there's a
top.
part in that where they literally like call pull and they shoot a guy out and a dude shoots him with a shotgun out of the sky. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Although I will say the other trailer. Did you guys watch the trailer that was a mix of like gameplay and live action people?
No.
That one was really weird, and I do not recommend it. It looked real dumb. But this trailer the gameplay trailer looks really, really, really cool. But the crazy thing is this isn't coming out until next year. This is a 2019 game.
Yeah, it's a year away from now.
Yeah, which Bethesda hasn't been doing much lately. They've been doing like E3 reveal, game comes out 3 months later. So, which kind of makes me wonder if this was supposed to be at least an E3 reveal, which would have put it into June. So,
Is this something you think you'll check out, Dylan?
We'll see. We'll see when it gets closer to.
Based on initial trailers, this is 100% something I'm interested in.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And I mean, just to give you an idea, it's bringing together id Software and Avalanche Studios, so Doom and Just Cause / Mad Max Studios. Like,
Yeah, should be good.
that's a lot of stuff.
I
That's
got
going to be
real
going
confused when they first said Avalanche Studios, though, because there's also an Avalanche Software. So Avalanche Studios is based out of Sweden.
on. Why do I know Avalanche Software?
They're based out of Salt Lake, and they made the Disney Infinity games.
Okay.
And I'm like, why would the Disney Infinity developers be making this like savage? The last game they made was Cars 3.
They just got tired of it.
Yeah.
So, all right. If you did not pick one up when they were first released, a little over a year ago, the NES Classic.
Yeah.
It is coming back on June 29th, and you should be able to find those from release date all the way through the end of the year.
Yeah, this should be even available at Christmas. I've also heard they're going to release more SNES classics. Although, we did this like kids fair thing 3 weeks ago. And Adam had his SNES Classic, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I want one of these so bad. They're so hard to find. We can't." I'm like, "No, like
They're really not.
You just have to like keep your eye out. Like they come into Walmart, they come into Amazon. Like I would have been able to buy
like
one
4.
Yeah, between now and 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in an SNES Classic,
They're still out there.
Just pay attention. They exist. You can buy them. They're still making them. It's not like these dried up and went away. So you can still get that. They're still $80 or whatever retail is, but this is cool with the NES Classic coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got 30 games on it from that era, which is awesome. Do you think that they're going to push any more games onto it?
No, I don't think so. I am curious, though, if it'll be interesting to see two things. If it still has that ridiculously short controller cord, because
that's such a pain.
That was such a pain. But it'll be interesting to see if they've patched whatever software bug or whatever allowed people to like mod these and dump more games
I think it was
onto
just
them.
a matter of basically like rooting or jailbreaking.
Yeah, but usually when you root or jailbreak or something, it's based on a bug in the software. You exploit something in the software, and it'll be interesting to see if they've actually fixed that in the in this version.
And
of
if
it.
they have, do you think somebody's just going to find a way within a month or two of how to get around that?
They always will.
What's the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park quote?
Life will find a way.
Life finds a way.
All right. So, yeah, NES Classic is back June 29th, so look out for that. Boss Key Productions, the studio behind Lawbreakers and the recently released,
Recently, yes.
Yes.
Radical Heights.
Radical Heights. Yeah. Did you play? You played some of that, right?
I played it for a game. And it was, that's about as much as I wanted to play. Like, it was cool. It feels really weird. Like,
That game was a game that was their last-ditch Hail Mary. This game is not ready for prime time, but let's push it out and hope real bad kind of thing,
and
I think.
For what it was and the time frame that they worked within, it gained some traction.
People
and some
seem to like
popularity.
it. I mean, I think if you look back at Boss Key, the two biggest mistakes they've probably made is their first mistake was, I don't want to say making an Overwatch clone, because they've been a studio for 4 years. When they first started making their game, Overwatch wasn't a thing. And so they didn't make an Overwatch clone. They just unfortunately made an Overwatch kind of like game in a world where Overwatch
is king.
Exists, and it came out after Overwatch.
Right.
So,
but they were working on it before Overwatch was a thing.
Yeah, so their first mistake was an accident more than anything. They made an Overwatch clone in a world where Overwatch exists.
Right.
And then their second mistake was Hail Marrying into a world where Fortnite and PUBG exist. Like, you'd have to have a heck of a game to to pull that audience.
Yeah. Well, and the moral of the story is that Boss Key Productions is shut down.
Oh, did we not get to
We
there?
didn't actually say that word.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, gone away. Now, is this a picture of Cliffy B right here?
That is Cliff Bleszinski.
So I'm just going to say this. I find him very attractive.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure he would be happy to know that. I'll let him know.
He's a young go-getter.
Please let him know that his studio's out of business, but my interests are not.
He's got an absolutely stunningly gorgeous wife. So, anyway.
That's fine.
Anyway. And she also is a gamer.
Couples that game together stay together.
She works for ID, I think, actually. Or did some stuff with ID or Doom. I don't know. She's a streamer, too. But, yeah, no, I mean, just a bummer. And I think the worst part about it is because Cliff Bleszinski is kind of a...
Big deal?
Well, not a big deal. I mean, he is. And I think that's the other thing that people don't realize is this dude, love him or hate him, he is responsible for a huge amount of stuff you love. Like, without Cliff Bleszinski, it's hard to say if the Unreal Engine would have ever taken off, which means that any game you play based on the Unreal Engine.
Which is a lot of them.
Which is a lot of games. Like, he was just an employee at Epic, but he is one of the people that pushed a huge amount of, Gears of War and... Gears of War, but also
do you really need to say like Gears of War?
But also Unreal Tournament was a huge driving force behind Unreal Tournament. Did Shadow Complex, did Bulletstorm, did all of these games that were a huge deal and made it so. Tim Sweeney is like the genius behind Epic, but he's not a guy that makes these games. He's a guy that makes really, really fantastic video game engines.
Gotcha.
Cliffy B push this stuff forward, and so he got a lot of slack because he is kind of abrasive. He's an in your face. He's the guy that made Gears of War. He's right. That guy. And so yesterday there was a lot of people. You deserve it because you're such a whatever, and I can't believe how stupid you are to think this would work, and whatever. And that's kind of crappy.
Just like that machismo kind of guy that just has a very outgoing personality, so that just rubs some people the wrong way. But go you for putting your ideas out there and just trying, because obviously they have stuck. It's not like his career is a failure.
And what people don't realize too,
stretch of the imagination,
is he didn't need to come back into video games. Like he retired not because he made a ton of money from Epic, but I think he made a ton of money from Oculus. I want to say he was an early investor in Oculus, and so he made bank when the Oculus IPO went up. So he retired. He wasn't like he got fired or quit. It was like he retired from video games and then had that itch to get back in because he had a good idea. The downside of this too is he's like, I'm just going to take some time, step away and not do anything, which is great for him, but not so great for the 60 people that Boss Key employed.
Right.
So,
but from what I was reading, so Boss Key they're in North Carolina.
Correct.
And that's also not far from Epic's.
They're East Coast somewhere.
Yeah, so I want to say that it was like roughly a 60-mile difference between where he was at and where they're at. Great. So hopefully, or something like that. So hopefully those people, with the amount of manpower being pushed into Fortnite
can get a job.
They've got a place to go.
That'd be cool.
So that'd be really cool. All right. Next, Rocket League is jumping on that Fortnite Battle Pass bandwagon kind of thing.
Yeah, so
free and premium versions.
Yeah, Battle Pass. Dylan's talked about it a couple times as
it's called Rocket Pass.
Yeah, as
why
related
would it be called
to
anything else?
Right, as related to Fortnite though, where you get the Battle Pass, and maybe you can explain that a bit because I kind of understand it, but not 100%.
Yeah, so you invest $10 at the beginning of the season, and every level you rank up. And it's not really level as much as it's like you collect 10
time
stars.
You spent playing. Yeah.
So completing challenges, leveling up will give you stars towards that, but we can essentially just call it leveling up because you're leveling up your battle pass.
Is it like gaining achievements, kind of?
Is it like the number of games played or the number of minutes?
It's like if you had two experience pools. One of them is experience for your player level, and one is experience for your battle pass level. Okay. So your experience that levels you up will give you stars towards your battle pass. So in theory,
you get a kill in Fortnite, you're going to get some stars that go towards your battle pass.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not exactly, but that idea.
Like your challenge says, get 5 assault rifle eliminations.
Oh, so it's actually challenge-based.
Challenges.
Oh, that's cool.
Or every level you'll get 2 stars, and every 5th level or 10th level you get 5 stars or whatever it is. And you need 10 stars to level up each rank. But every rank you get a new cosmetic item.
Interesting.
So
Anyway, so Rocket League is going to introduce that same concept. They're going to call it Rocket Pass, and it's I think it's coming this summer, so details are a little sketchy. Like, they're not saying how much it costs, but there will be a free version and a premium version. And I'm both really in, like, when you asked earlier if this is something that would get me into it, maybe. Like, I kind of like the idea of like, hey, you have to do these things to get points, but that could either it's going to make it really fun and you're going to be like,
or you're just going to go, there's no way I can do 3 triple flips in a row and bounce the ball.
No, actually what worries me more is what it's going to do is create a bunch of people that are like, hey, I need to get 3 aerial goals in order to get my next level of my battle pass, and there's going to be a bunch of people who aren't necessarily playing to win anymore. They're playing to get their 3 aerial goals, which so it could be really fun, or it could really, really ruin the experience. So we'll have to see how they set it up, but that could be
that's super noticeable in Fortnite, because when the new week's challenges started, it would say get 5 kills in Dusty Depot, so everyone would drop into Dusty Depot, and it kind of does break the game a little bit, because it's not like people randomly dropping throughout the map where they like. It's no, people are dropping at the spots that get them challenges, and it's fine, but it is kind of, it's completely noticeable. It's not transparent within the game, because people are challenge chasing just to level up their battle pass, and that's not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe they could do something like in Rocket League where it's like, okay, you need to get 3 aerial whatevers.
Yeah.
And you get those 3, and instead of being like, all right, I'm out, on to the next, you have to stay in that match until it's done, otherwise you lose it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this is implemented, because it, like I said, it could either be, hey, that's a lot of fun, and kind of introduce, because I've done that too, where you look at your achievements and go like, oh, I'd really, I don't have an upside down goal. I'd really like to get an upside down goal, or those kind of things, and you work towards those. But this, like, I don't know, this will be good or it'll be bad. We'll see. There's my really well thought out.
It could be really good or really bad or something in between.
Exactly.
It could be somewhere along the spectrum of really good to really bad.
Yeah. Anyways, what you're working for, though, you'll get free cosmetics. So wheels and decals and flames and all that kind of stuff. So, and if you pay for it, you'll get better things. So probably the more premium things that are locked in chests now and that kind of stuff. So,
also it looks like coming later this year, cross-platform parties and a new leveling system that's going to remove the level cap and also the ramp up in XP that you need to unlock higher levels. Does it just like get exponentially more and more and more? And you're just kind of like, why?
Yeah, it gets way harder. I'm actually really excited about the cross-platform parties, because it'll let you right now, like for instance, when we play our big Rocket League parties, we can only play in a private server because we play with people on multiple platforms. Right. And this will make it so like PC and Xbox will be able to form a team together and play 3v3.
See, and I thought that you could already do that.
Nope.
It's just not the PS4.
Nope. Yeah, and PS4 you'll still not be able to do Xbox, PS4.
So it's basically, it's not true crossplay. It's just going to be Xbox, PC, and Switch.
Yeah, but it'll be crossplay. Right now, you can't even do that much. Right. It's very frustrating that I can't play with Vinny on a team because Vinny plays on PC. It'd be cool to be able to play on the same team. So.
Interesting. All right. Next, Destiny 2 puzzle is leading to some real-life loot in upstate New York.
This is cool, yeah. So,
you talk more about this because you've been dipping back into the Destiny.
And I've only, and by that I mean I played that. I played the intro that you have to play again. that like hour and a half intro.
Oh, right.
I wanted to make a new character,
hour and a half.
And maybe it's an hour. It's longer than you think it is.
It's like 28 minutes.
No. It's pretty long. It's like 2 missions plus that third mission. No, it's longer than you think it is. I promise.
Oh, if you're talking like, and then like you get kicked off the thing, and then you have to trudge through all that stuff.
Yeah, you have to get all the way to the farm.
Oh, okay,
you can't play multiplayer until you get all the way to the farm.
True.
It takes a while. So,
anywho,
they just released the Warmind DLC, and which I hear is okay. And but one person noticed that there was a sequence of steps that led to a final puzzle. And with a little bit of real-world sleuthing, they realized that it actually led to a location in Sleeping Beauty Mountain in New York. And so the dude just hoofed it there and found this giant spear. I mean, that thing's got to be what?
Holy
4
crap.
or 5 feet tall, along with like a note and a journal and some gold coins and all this stuff. It's really cool. Like, you want to look this up. Go to IGN or PC Gamer, any of them. They'll have pictures of it.
Just type in Google.
You can also just type in Google, but it's really cool. And they said there's only 3 of these spears in existence, and they left one of them in the New York wilderness. So it's pretty cool looking.
I mean, how does one actually just go about leaving a giant
spear somewhere,
murder weapon in the middle of the woods, saying, "Hey, come find this"?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really neat though. What
if some random person just happened along that?
And then stabbed someone with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's extreme, but I mean, it's not. I listen to My Favorite Murder on the side, so like that's not a thing that couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But no, that spear is kind of sweet.
It's really sweet.
And there's more out there. There's 2 more out there?
I'm not sure if there's 2 more out there or if it's just they made 3 of them when they made it and left 1 in the woods and 1's in their office. But it's pretty cool.
We've got 3 of these. One of these is just going to go out here on this mountainside, hang out there. All right. Well, hey, good job, dude.
Yeah, I like it.
For you.
Right.
All right. Finally, Nintendo Switch Online. It is coming, and I am really excited for it because it's $20 a year, and you get all kind of stuff. And by all kind of stuff, I mean like classic games.
I'm passingly excited about it, and I don't know if all kinds of stuff really defines what you get.
I like all kind of stuff.
You get a squid adapter that you can plug into your phone. Oh, by the way, you have to buy the squid adapter.
If I want to do voice chatty crap.
If you want to do voice chat. If you want to buy their online multiplayer service for what they want you to buy it for. Online multiplayer.
Sure. So anyway, so that's coming up. Here are the things that we have heard.
Oh, we talked about that. We talked about it last week.
We talked about all this?
Yes.
Oh, we did? Well, we're talking about, in particular, the family, family sharing?
Yes. So if you...
Kind of like I've got, so on my Apple account, I added family sharing onto it so that Kevin can get... play the games that I buy and vice versa. And like we can load the stuff on the same Apple TV and we have access to all the same stuff.
So my wife and my kid have access to mine, and it's great.
Yeah.
And this will do the same thing. And so what it lets you do is up to 7 family members can get into one family pass. So normally this is $20. The family pass is $35, but you can put up to 7 family members. And you on the podcast side of this don't know that I'm putting air quotes around family members. And so theoretically, it could only cost you $5. So in my case, Adam's, here and Dylan's here. And so we only have to pay $9.
So now
that math didn't work out. $12.
Close enough.
$12.
Yeah, that's close enough. So does that mean, since I purchased Immortal Redneck, if we're in the same family, you'll be able to play my games and vice versa?
No, we'd all be able to play our own little 20 NES games, though.
Oh.
And use the chat features. And if we all buy our little squids and our, plug into our cell phones, we'd be able to talk to each other. So I don't believe that's actually what they mean when they say Family Pass. But apparently, at least from what they've released so far, there aren't restrictions about address or any of that stuff. So in theory, we could all be in a family together.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, we're family.
We're family. Yeah.
I know, right? Blurk.
Means no one gets left behind or something.
Well, that's cool. And, of course, I'm sure we're going to hear more about the Nintendo Online stuff at E3.
Yeah, and it's coming out September, I believe.
Yep, alongside what? Super Smash Bros.
Oh, yeah, sure. I haven't ever played it. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be excited about it yet.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps telling me I should be excited about it. But
it's going to be pretty great.
Yeah. All right. We'll have
I just can't imagine having to talk through a squid connector on my phone to people. That's
right?
I don't need to talk to you to beat you up, so.
Oh, yeah, this is true.
Dang.
I don't have to hear you crying as I whoop your ass. There's that.
What that is?
You gotta do the salt thing. Which nobody can see me doing this, but have you seen the salt guy?
I was salting.
I've never played this game.
No. It's a guy in real life. It's like this guy at a restaurant. He owns a restaurant, and he does this weird salt thing with his hand. He flicks it, and there's all kind of memes all over the place. I like that phrase today.
Apparently, I am on the wrong part of the internet.
Yep, I will show it to you.
Oh, well.
It's real weird.
Yeah, sounds weird.
All right. Up next, we have questions. First off,
You're right.
We have questions from our loyal listeners. And up first...
Hey, yo, Vinny.
That guy.
What's going on?
Well, he has a question for us.
Do you like questions?
Yes, he does.
I like questions.
He always has questions.
Ask a question. What's the question?
His question is, if you had the ability to take any license and create it into a game, what license would it be? What kind of game is it? Multiplayer, single player, blah, blah, blah. If he had to choose, it'd probably be Harry Potter right now. He knows they exist, but a current-gen Harry Potter game similar to God of War would be incredible. I take umbrage with the idea of Harry Potter walking around...
Professor Umbridge?
Eviscerating... Oh, that too. Eviscerating people and things a la Kratos and God of War.
Do you remember when Harry used the curse that he learned from Snape and it like cut that dude all up? It wasn't good.
I do not.
It wasn't good.
I do not.
It was very God of War-ish.
Oh.
I just assume he's going to be walking around calling Ron boy. boy, come here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Vinny took the one. I actually said this to someone, I'm going to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I really, 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 really want a VR Quidditch game.
I would vomit so quick.
But I don't know if you would, because like that's what they say is that, you know, like that's why games like Elite or space sims or flight sims or driving sims work so well in VR, is because you don't get that weird sensation where I'm walking and my body's not walking. Because you're used to being in a car.
You're actually stationary, but the car is what's moving.
Yeah,
right?
and so
it's
your
like
body's
a rail shooter. Like you're moving around.
Yeah.
Your body's used to that movement. I mean, I think it would make me sick because like roller coasters make me dreadfully sick as well. So
roller coasters.
Yeah. But I think that could be an amazingly good time. And it's one of those things that really, I mean, there was a Quidditch game for PS2, I want to say.
I think so.
But I think VR is really fun. The place where Harry Potter could really, really, really shine as a Quidditch game.
I just had a really good idea.
Please, regale us.
We need a Family Guy video game.
I don't think we do.
Along the lines of South Park. The Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth.
If we could travel back like 15 years ago to when Family Guy was funny, maybe?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like season
I don't really
2?
think that was ever a time, but
I liked season 1 and 2 of Family Guy a lot.
And then it got canceled.
I was like, well, that's a shame.
And then when it came back, it was okay. It was actually okay when it came back for the first season or two after that.
Yeah,
but then
it got really, 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 really bad.
Well, because he started working on American Dad, and he was like, yeah, I'm done with Family Guy. I'm focusing on American Dad. Well, that one ended up getting canceled.
Dad also wasn't funny.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
their
poor
shows.
Taste. And I have bad taste. I can't help it.
No, and the thing is I do too. Like I usually like I usually like dumb shows, and that show was just too dumb for me. And I think the thing is I think that he's actually a pretty funny guy.
Oh yeah.
That shows it's not.
Yeah, I really liked the first couple seasons, and after that I was like, no, I'm out.
I would rather play South Park Does Family Guy, where they have all the manatees pick the balls out and put them in the.
God, that's such a funny episode.
That's how Family Guy is written.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know that episode
of
South Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where the manatees
I
pick
thought
the
you
balls,
said Simpsons for some reason. That's
it's
what I was
like.
Yeah.
I can't remember the example, but it's.
I would love another
spot on.
I would love another Simpsons game.
Yeah, Simpsons game.
There were some good Simpsons games. I want a Princess Bride game.
A what?
A Princess Bride game. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, me either.
Maybe the smart way to do a Princess Bride game is not to focus on the kind of how the Harry Potter mobile game out that's right out. Like it doesn't focus on the actual main characters, but it focuses on someone in that world that things happen around them. Maybe that might be interesting. It's such a fun movie, and it's such a fun world. Like I think that could be interesting.
Dylan, do you have a game?
Yes.
License in mind? Thinger?
Also on the Harry Potter cast. I was actually thinking the other day, I remember those old Harry Potter games. I don't know if you can... Like, I Googled them on Steam. I searched them on Steam, and it's like, they're not there.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. And I remember I had the first one, I think, and it played on my toaster of a computer way back when.
Sure.
Because, I mean, this was a long...
you played it on your
when
toaster?
Harry Potter came out. So, and it was a fun game, and I think it would be similar to the game that I'm imagining, but I'm imagining a bully-style game.
Oh, that'd be really good.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So it's like open world in a school. You're a kid going to class. You could be Harry, or in that storyline, or you could just be a separate kid.
I would like a Witcher 3 style Harry Potter game where you play as Harry after he graduates and starts being an Auror.
Yeah, that'd be
real fun.
Too,
starts being a what?
An Auror.
An Auror?
They're like
have you never seen Harry Potter, Adam?
I have. It didn't stick. Evidently.
They're like the people that go out and protect the world.
They're like witch cops.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what Harry Potter grows up to be, an Auror.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm imagining.
I guess Adam hasn't read the Harry Potter series like I have 35 times.
I've never read them.
But
you should read them. They're so good.
I'm imagining you could like sneak out of the school though and like go, and then it could turn into kind of a stealth game. So you could have like that Assassin's Creed moment where you've got the invisibility cloak in like
that sounds
Hogsmeade and all this
That'd
stuff, and
go
into certain parts of London or whatever it is, and. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for a game there, and I'm surprised that
game would be fun with that.
I don't know why that IP has not been more
recently,
more
developed.
Yes, developed.
I wonder if it's a pricing thing, or if just
But it would return. Like you would think it would have to. Return.
I wonder if there's just not as big of a crossover between Harry Potter and video games as you think there would be, or maybe the problem is that they targeted the wrong audience with Harry Potter. Like maybe like a cool like SimCity game would be, or like not SimCity but like The Sims would be a cool crossover.
Well, I think now would be a good time for them to do that, because all the kids that grew up reading Harry Potter are now
like in their 20s,
in their mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's the prime target for some of these types of games. The more mature themed, the more with the more intense and involved systems and stuff.
I will say that if you have not played them, the Lego Harry Potter games are really, really, really good, and they were remastered and re-released on the PS4. Not super long ago, maybe a year ago, and they're really fun. I played those when my kid was very young, and it's only a 2-player game. Me and my wife were playing, and we just hand my kid a third controller, because there's always a third person with you. You play as Hermione, Ron, or Harry, but whoever you're not playing as hangs out with you. And so we handed my kid a controller, and he thought he was controlling the third character. Was not.
Best way to keep a kid busy.
Yeah, right?
Kind of along the same line, Lord of the Rings also, those movies came out at a similar time that the Harry Potter movies, and I think they suffer from the same thing where they put these cool games out while the movies were hot, and then those IPs just kind of they didn't do anything with them.
Shadow
later,
War and Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, but it's not directly tied to it's very far from what Lord of the Rings really is.
The Lego Lord of the Rings games are also very good.
So you have Lego Lord of the Rings and you have Lego Harry Potter, but other than that, you have Shadow of Mordor.
Are those both WB properties?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. But even they did 3 Lord of the Rings games on like the PS2 and probably Xbox as well that just followed the storylines of the movies and the Lord of the Rings plot. And they were fun beat-em-up games where you could pick one of the characters and shoot a bunch of orcs with arrows, and it was a fun game, but you're not going to be able to play those anymore because they're going to look like poo-poo.
Pulling this all back together, Avalanche Software that we were talking about earlier, the development studio in Salt Lake, right? After Disney Infinity shut down, Disney closed down that development center, and it was immediately purchased by Warner Brothers. And so Warner Brothers owns Avalanche Software now. Oddly enough, Warner Brothers actually put out Cars 3, the video game, in a strange world. So they now WB now owns them as a development studio, so maybe that's where we get our Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings crossover.
Why don't we do a Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings mashup game?
Yes. Down.
No?
I think that's...
What?
It would be interesting.
Yes.
The wizards in those two universes don't work the same way.
No, they do not.
They do not. No. Which ones do you think would win in a fist fight?
A fist fight?
See?
So
threw that out there.
Let's look at all the wizards in the Harry Potter universe and their noodly arms. They're not going to be punching very hard. But there's also only like 4 wizards in Lord of the Rings.
I would like to see...
They all ganged up on
I would like to see Gandalf fight Dumbledore. Yeah. Like in a full wizard duel.
Yeah, but it's like... There's a little wizard dueling in Lord of the Rings, but that's not actually real in Lord of the Rings. Like the wizards don't actually do any magic missile type anything.
I don't care about Lord of the Rings at all, but I really want to watch this happen.
Gandalf has a sword.
A sword?
Yeah.
I love Gandalf.
I bet you Dumbledore can make a sword out of magic.
Yeah, or pull one out of a hat.
Thank you, Vinny, for this very lively discussion you started.
Dylan and I can talk Harry Potter. We'll just talk We'll just leave Adam over there.
It's fine.
I did just reread all of the books and watch all of the movies recently.
Good.
So
they're real good.
That's why you have been playing video games, because you just watched a bunch.
That was a while ago.
I've been magicking, Adam. I'm a magician.
He's been doing his own magic.
He's been doing his real life, his Harry Potter IRL.
Good
Lord. All right, thank you, Vinny, for that. Up next, Shadow X, a.k.a. Josh. Josh. He wants to know, what are your thoughts on esports in high school? First of all, I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a thing.
What was your school's mascot? Do you think it would do justice in esports, or would you need to adopt a new one? My high school mascots, I went to 2 different high schools, so I was a Lancer or a Tiger.
I think both of yours would work.
I think I'd be fine.
So
I think it'd be just fine.
I went to a super lame high school. We were the Cottonwood Colts. So we're
well, you're horses.
Yeah, but like baby horses. We weren't the Mustangs. We were the Colts. And that was reflected in my football team not winning a football game the entire 3 years I went to high school.
Was it more to do with the mascot name,
yes.
Or was it to do with the fact you were in their school?
Tied. I don't know.
I don't even know.
They were not good. But I think Colts would make it was a terrible thing to name your school mascot, but it was also a terrible thing to name your esports team. But I will say there are 2 other schools in my general area. One was the Farmers. The Farmers is worse than the Colts. The other was the Beat Diggers, which is worse than the Colts and the Farmers.
It's like a highly specialized farmer.
I'm not even kidding. The Jordan Beat Diggers.
Wow. Yeah, they would suck.
They would suck.
Wow. We're gonna beat you,
Dylan.
BEET.
We were the Hornets.
Yeah, see, Hornets is good.
Yeah,
Hornets is real good.
Like, we'll sting you.
I mean, you win once and you die.
Yeah, that's really all you need.
As to what I think about
go out a winner.
High school esports, like. I'm kind of torn. Like, on one hand, I think it's not everybody wants to play traditional sports. Like, people don't want to play football or basketball or baseball. And so I think having esports as an option is cool. You know, my kid is never going to play high school football ever in a million years. But he might.
You say that now and watch.
He's going to be a stud. He's also afraid of some things that...
Most things. He's an awesome kid, but I don't think he wants to go outside enough to play football. Yeah. And he has no interest in it, so whatever. But I mean, like, I think he could legit play on an esports team. The thing that kind of worries me about esports is that it's a really, really young thing, and so there's a lot of problems.
You age out at 23, 24.
You age out of it, but also, like, there's a lot of problems with, like, performance-enhancing drugs.
And it opens up a whole new world that's exactly like the real sports world, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, all the same problems will be there. And I would also be concerned that, I mean, again, it's going to take a lot of people that, like, yeah, you might have 2 schools that can have esports teams that compete against each other, but, like, are you really going to be able to have enough
I think
esports teams?
I think so, especially if it was...
What is that game?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of questions. Like, what is the game that you play that every school will have an esports team that plays the same esports game? Well,
but I mean, that's not any different than choosing football.
Right, but those games have existed for many, many, many years, and they've been a part of schools forever.
I don't think that's the challenge. I think the thing that you think about, like, if you want to be a football player, like, yeah, it takes a lot. Like, I'm not discounting football or like, when I played basketball in high school, like, I played basketball 35 hours a week.
Mm-hmm. But if you can't expect. I don't know. I don't think it would be a healthy choice to put a kid.
Yeah.
Into 35 hours a week training sessions.
Well, but my point is like, if you want to play football, if you want to play basketball, if you want to play baseball, you train a lot, you work out a lot, you run a lot. But it's kind of like there's a finite amount of time you can do that. Like, basketball courts close. Your parents make you come home.
Right.
But Fortnite, You can play that game all day, every day.
All night,
every night, at lunch, on
your phone.
when you're supposed to be in class. Like, to me, esport, as much as I love video games, like esports in high school seemed to me like a really, really great way to get a bunch of kids to fail out of high school.
Right.
It's just
you can't trust high schoolers. You can't trust
in addition to all the the other problems.
Yeah,
so,
right.
like esports at a college level, great. That's
go for it.
That's
college anyway.
It's really weird because great. The difference between an 18 and a 19-year-old isn't really that big, but
right.
Or
maybe start esports like in that senior year, kind of like make it that, because it is such a like. I get football and basketball; those are all recreational kind of things.
Yeah.
But there's the competitive, side to it in the whole league, where it's like video games for the most part are still a recreational kind of thing.
Right.
So keep it recreational until like the kids are to that point where they see that this is not just a recreational thing. This is what I can do with this. And when they've got that extra time, because in their senior year, a lot of kids in their senior year have some extra time because they've already got their stuff done.
My kid has actually played in a rec Minecraft league. So
there's a league for that?
Yeah, it's called Super League. Yeah.
I can imagine
you play at movie theaters.
Busing 8 kids to a different city to go play a video game in another room with 8 other
But why
kids.
would you need to? Like, you just do it all over the internet. Why?
Because you have to put people in the same room. They have to be in the same
field.
Yeah. I do not believe in esports that aren't in the same room.
Yeah.
You have like any other sport, you can't.
But from a high school perspective, I don't know if it matters.
I think it does, because that's what it is. Like, if you're going to play esports, you have to play esports. You can't play fake esports, because then it's just playing video games on the internet.
Yeah, but to me, to me, the presentation of that. I mean, I guess the Rocket League.
You have to be able to put butts in seats to watch them compete.
The thing is Rocket League doesn't work that way. Rocket League is done, a huge amount of it is done over the internet.
Yeah.
And they have a central server that both places log into, and then they have announcers.
So it'd be like the math league or whatever. It's like, okay, instead of us going to a room and doing this team on team, we just Skype it all in.
Oh, yeah. But I think the thing is, it doesn't matter. But especially if you if instead of investing your time and money into the transportation of people to different places, if you put your money into having announcers and having these central things that people could log on and watch.
Yeah. See, I
mean, I guess the thing is like, how are you going to do that in like a gym? Like, set it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it would work. I think you'd have to do it online.
To me, sports is you're in the same room and you have spectators.
Yeah.
Like, that is a sporting event.
Yeah, no.
So if you're going to be esports, that's it. Otherwise, it's recreational.
No.
I mean,
that's where I separate it.
I can't believe this discussion has gone on this long about this. But like, so it would be like, so the Overwatch tournaments or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So no travel expenses, no nothing. We're not hosting whatever.
Yeah.
You're sitting at your house on your computer and you're playing with your team from there.
Yeah.
You have to take into account like network issues, like stuff that might be going on at home. Any weird kind of thing that could happen between where you're at, where your team is at, and then where your team is at.
I'm not saying they should all be
in different houses.
I'm saying like one's at one school, one's at another school. The server's in a central location to those two.
Yeah. I think you have to be in the same room.
No,
connected.
Yeah, it needs to be a LAN party,
Yeah, it does.
No, I mean, I like the idea, but I think that it places way too many barriers on actually making it happen. Like, because then you've got to have like network engineers and.
That's what esports will take, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do esports, you have to do esports.
And like, I can see that at a college level, but at a high school level, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, then if that's the case, then
the answer is no high school esports.
High school.
Well, I mean, I made that argument like 15 minutes ago.
For a very different reason.
But that's my
reason was right.
I have
Your
a hard
reasons are
time
dumb.
saying you're going to put butts in seats to have a esports sporting event at a high school level because of like the logistics of having teams.
What's the difference between butts and seats on Twitch and butts and seats in a gym? I mean, how would you make that work? What are they going to watch it on?
But you're
like a giant TV in your gym?
That's how they do it. Like, watch esports. That's exactly how it is. You can watch it on Twitch, but there's also people.
I'm highly involved in schools, and I'm pretty sure that you're not going to get people buying jumbotrons for their high schools so they can
just get a decent projector and stick it up on there.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, if you're going to do esports, that's the right way to do it.
And I think it would be
Otherwise, I'm not interested at all.
Also, if they do the esport thing, in high school, I think it should come along with some type of education in the software dev kind of scene or whatever. Some kind of computer sciencey stuff to go along with it. Where it's not
build
just
the game that they play.
But like, why can't we set it up at the local movie theater and project it there? Like, we had a good rapport with our movie theater, so why couldn't we get 12 computers on the stage and project it right behind them?
That's actually the one that my kid did, Super League. That's how it works.
That's
fun. Yeah.
I don't think that's most schools will have projector capabilities anyway.
And let me tell you how badly the network there was most of the time. So. And there was a company behind that.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh ShadowX ShadowX. I had a brain fart. For that very lively discussion that you incited. Good job.
Those are both good questions today.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's wrap it up this week with some cheap free game news. Humble Bundle has a what?
Hooked on Multiplayer 2018.
Like, I just forgot how to do the thing. What's it called? Reading. Okay. So right now there are games for... Just talk. I can't do this.
All right. So in the pay what you want tier, there is Stick Fighter, the game, which is really, really, really fun.
These are all multiplayer games.
Yeah, all multiplayer. Stick Player is really good. It's co-op. I've played it, enjoyed it. I've never played Rampage Knights, but it looks like the picture's a knight stabbing, like, I don't know, a polar bear wearing armor, which can't be bad.
What? Okay. Let's talk about what you're looking at. I don't know where polar bear comes into play here.
I think it's Yeti.
Oh, it could be a Yeti, yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeti bear.
I'm going Yeti bear.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway,
moving on.
Anyway, and then Tumblestone, which is a fun kind of Tetris-y game, as I recall. I've played it, but it's been a while. I believe that is local, too.
It's been a while.
Yeah, the dude who makes that is in Seattle. He's one of the leaders of the Seattle indie group. Anyway, in the pay more than the average, which right now, as we speak on Tuesday at about 5, is $5.44, is Besiege, which I've never heard of, Duck Game, which I've also never heard of, but I like the title a lot.
It looks in like the main screen cap that they've got. It looks like Howard the Duck in a Doom.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like Howard the Duck as Doom guy. Looks good.
What is this next game?
Hover, which I also know anything about. These are all like super well rated though, so we're overwhelmingly positive, and very positive for those 3 games.
So just so you know, my take on watching this Hover trailer, it almost looks like if Mirror's Edge had a really awesome baby with Sunset Overdrive.
Oh my god, that game is gorgeous.
That's
isn't
what
it?
That looks like.
Wow, yeah, that's real pretty. And then if you want to pay the $14 tier, you too can own a copy of Rocket League
for the 11th time.
I don't have it on PC.
I do.
I've got a PC and PS4, I can actually play on both.
I own 2 copies of it on the PC.
Oh,
but that's a good deal for $14. It's normally $20. So if you've ever wanted to get into the Rocket League, that's a pretty good bundle to get in on. You also get soundtracks for 3 of those games as a bonus. Yeah, so that's a really good Humble Bundle. Hooked on Multiplayer 2018. You can get that and give us a couple bucks if you go to bytemepodcast.com/humble. And this month, too, if you're going to jump on the Humble Bundle monthly bandwagon, you get Destiny 2. And if you subscribe through us, we'll make $10, and that would make me happy.
Yeah. You should do it. How do I... Okay, so I'm going to get the small bundle because I don't need Rocket League again.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, $5.50. I think I'll probably pick it up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at. Oh, I can give all of our money to us.
Hey, nice.
I could literally give 8 cents. Oh my gosh, I can give all the money to us.
I guess.
I just did that.
Oh.
We're going to make $6. You're
nice.
welcome. Okay.
Anywho.
Anyway. I think that's that. So, yeah, if you want to buy on the Humble Bundle, it's bytemepodcast.com/humble. Did you actually just say all that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're welcome. I'm the talking person now.
That's now? Is there anything else?
No, that is it.
Nothing?
I think that's it.
I mean, you could find us on Facebook.com/
I can say words for a while if you want.
Find us on all the socials of Byte Me Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but it's kind of boring there. ByteMePodcast.com.
/humble if you'd like to support us with the Humble Bundle.
If you'd like to support us.
I'm going to start Instagramming more.
I need to figure out a way to make that process work for me because I really want to. I take screenshots all the time. I'm like, this is so cool. And God of War just got the awesome screenshot mode. I love that so much.
So you should get it just to do the photo mode. It's ridiculous.
I took a selfie the other day with a giant, massive, dead giant guy. He was like on a beach and all dead. I took a picture with him. It was great.
Yeah, I love that. That whole map was so fun.
Really cool.
That was so good.
Yeah, so I need to get better at that, but
does it have a vanity camera like Conan does?
Yeah. No. Not like
that's what they call it.
Not like Conan does.
Vanity cam.
That game
just
left.
You could look at your Wii.
Yeah, Conan just barely left early access. It is a full, honest-to-goodness game now.
I keep wanting to say Conan.
It's
not the O'Brien.
Those are very. I would play Conan O'Brien in Conan. That'd be great.
Have you watched Conan O'Brien and
mod.
Bill Hader play God of War?
I have not. I've heard about it.
Oh my God, hilarious! So good.
You're hilarious.
I am hilarious. Thankfully, looks aren't everything.
All
right. That's that. Find us, follow us. Write us, tweet us, message us, IG us, snap us. Are we on the Snap? We're on the Snap.
No, we're not on the Snap.
We should be on the Snap.
I don't know how it works. I'm way too old for Snapchat.
Snap is so terrible.
If you've seen the new Avengers, you know what the Snap is. Not really. It's totally different.
I was very disappointed that there's no Snap.
How did you not hear it?
Does he? You don't ever see him do it, though.
Sorry, spoilers.
No.
Anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Thank you.